This episode is about the number 28 team on the Juggernaut Index, the St. Louis Rams. Last year, the St. Louis offense may have been the most disappointing collection of humans assembled anywhere for any purpose. It's tough to overstate how poorly this group played. The Rams scored only 16 offensive touchdowns and averaged just 10.9 points per game. If they somehow could have doubled their TD total, they still would have finished 25th in the NFL in scoring. St. Louis would rank dead last in this index if it weren't for Steven Jackson, a terrific running back who's burning through the best years of his career in an almost hopeless environment. Considering his circumstances, Jackson's 2009 season was heroic. He gained 1,738 total yards on 375 touches, and he led the Rams in receptions with 51. Unfortunately for his owners, S-Jax only crossed the goal line 4 times. He simply didn't get the number of red zone touches required to pile up points. In fact, his red zone workload was basically half of what you'd expect of a top-tier back. Jackson received 35 red zone touches last year. Jones-Drew had 69, and Peterson had 65. When you account for the general ineptitude of his supporting cast, his past injury issues, and the fact that Jackson had off-season surgery to repair a herniated disc, it's tough to build a case for him as a number 1 or first-round fantasy back in any format. If St. Louis is going to stun the NFL by delivering a respectable season in 2010, then quarterback Sam Bradford will have to have an astonishing rookie year, like Matt Ryan in 08, if not better. Yeah, okay, perhaps if this season began today, A.J. Feely would be a threat to start, but he hasn't completed an NFL pass since 2007. The same year, he threw 8 interceptions on 103 attempts. He's a non-factor in fantasy. Thus, he's a parenthetical in the Rams preview. Bradford has the tools you'd expect from a number 1 overall pick. Accuracy, arm strength, intelligence, but he faces a steep learning curve. He won't be running a simplified spread against overwhelmed opponents this year. Bradford downplayed the difficulty of the Oklahoma to St. Louis transition prior to the draft, and I quote, "People have this misconception that if you play in the spread offense, if you play in the shotgun, you don't know how to take a drop. I'm very comfortable throwing under center," Bradford told reporters at the Combine, and apparently answered all the questions about last season's shoulder injury. For the Rams and their fans, the year ahead is all about Bradford's development. However, the Rams' offensive line is still a concern. They weren't a disaster in 2009, but left tackle Jason Smith has been dogged with injuries, and the receiver corps isn't exactly loaded with playmakers. Donnie Avery is a serious talent who's fought through a series of strains, tweaks, and breaks over his first 2 seasons. It's not inconceivable that he and Bradford could make an interesting combo by 2011. Beyond Avery, though, there really aren't many interesting targets here. You're not drafting Laurent Robinson or Keenan Burton in any league of standard size, and both are rehabbing injuries. Brandon Gibson is still in the picture after proving his competence in the second half of 2009, and Cincinnati rookie Marty Gilliard has generated the typical first-year off-season buzz. But again, these aren't draft-worthy players in most formats. The Rams' defense? No thanks. They allowed 27.3 points and 372.8 yards per game last season. Those stats placed them 31st and 29th in the NFL. Incredibly, no St. Louis cornerback recorded an interception in 2009. There are 2 IDPs of interest here, and both are top-tier players. Linebacker James Laurinaitis with 120 tackles, and safety Oshimogu Otagwe with 74 tackles in 12 games. If you see anything else on this roster that you like, let's hear about it in the comments. If not, let's ram it!